In this video, I will be covering Chapter 26 of Unit 8 of APUSH. Now, get those brain cows ready to be milked because I'm going straight in Miranda style, not Heimler style. Now, I don't know where that actually came from, but Chapter 26 covers post-war America, veterans returning home, post-war economy, and communism. Now, when veterans were coming home, they had three main fears. First fear was, what the heck am I going to get into post-war? I don't know how the economy will be. Second fear, how am I supposed to find a house? Third fear, how am I supposed to find a home? Now, these were all pushed back as soon as the GI Bill rights came through. They're like, jeez, GI Bills are rights, hello! These GI Bill gave veterans the opportunity to further their education with government money and government-backed loans to buy homes and farms. The GI Bill not only helped veterans, but stimulated the post-war economy. And you know what goes well with a good economy? Babies. Hello, here's the baby boom. During this time with the best economy and highest standard of living, people started marrying younger and having larger families. I mean, who wouldn't? Dude came home from war. You haven't seen him in a while. Come on, hello. This resulted in 50 million babies. Jeez. Now, with the economy, industries, and money from the GI Bill growing, it also grew suburban life. Suburban life skyrocketed, this creating levee towns and a construction boom. Now, with this, the Sun Belt was easily created. I mean, a warmer climate, lower taxes, and economic opportunities was the best place to go after war. I mean, war, suburban life, war, the South. Like, I think anything, really. This moved people from the Northeast and Midwest to the South and West. The Sun Belt also had a political shift, moving political power from one region to another. Now, staying with the idea of economics, the Taft-Hartley Act comes along in which prohibited union strikes, boycotts, and discrimination, allowing for a better relationship between unions and employers. Now, after winning the 1948 election to run for a second term, Truman created the Fair Deal. Now, his main ideas through this deal was included enacting national health care insurance, federal aid for schools, civil rights legislation, funding for public housing, and a new farm program. However, even though Truman was maintaining the New Deal reforms, Congress blocked the proposed reforms due to Truman's history with Congress and foreign policy concerns. You may wonder why foreign issues is so much bigger than the ones at home that we're going through. However, the foreign concerns were the Cold War. This was an intense rivalry between the Soviet Union and the United States, which was an ideological war between the belief of communism and democracy. The two major wars were the Vietnam War and Korean War. We'll talk about these in a later video. Now, continuing with foreign concerns, the Soviet was building their own Iron Curtain in Europe, creating communist satellite states. In response, we turned to the idea of containment. Containment is simply how it sounds, containing the spread of communism. This was handled in two different ways, at home and across the ocean. Over the ocean, we took part in the Marshall Plan, in which we helped build countries after the war and hoped they would look towards democracy instead of communism. Now, the Truman Doctrine was also a huge defense against totalitarianism government in Turkey and Greece. In the bigger picture, the doctrine was to help democratic nations resist authoritarian threats, mainly communism, through the help of political and military aid. At home, we faced the Second Red Scare. Terrified of communism, many loyalty programs were made to ensure communism would not invade the U.S. and infiltrate American society. One major influence of the scare was McCarthyism. Joseph McCarthy accused that there were Joseph McCarthy accused 205 communists working for the State Department. This led to many other accusations, fueling a climate of fear and paranoia. Lastly, containment will leave us with the creation of NATO, a military defense act. And you know who copied us? The Soviet Union, of course, with their Warsaw Pact, a military alliance defending communist states of Eastern Europe. So scary. That was really corny. Anyways, that is Chapter 26, Unit 8. Hope those brain cows were melt. Miranda style.